What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Slackers, and my most wanted character is much different than yours, but that is alright. So today I wanted to kind of just go over a video. It was just an idea. I kind of was like, yo, this could be interesting because it's been a hot topic, and that topic happens to be sleeper characters, or characters nobody really expects. After the Kazuya Mishima reveal last week, in his presentation next week, I'm looking forward to that. Like, we really don't know what direction Nintendo goes, right? We think this way, and then Nintendo goes that way. They zig, we zag, right? That whole thing. So I thought it would be a fun little idea, and then depending on how this video could go, we might do more videos like this in the future. But today's focus is going to be sleeper picks, but the Konami edition. So basically, I'm going to go over a few franchises that could have a chance to get into Smash Bros, but hardly anybody talks about them. So I'll kind of go over a couple different talking points, if you will. So let's start things off with Bill Riser and Contra. Now, the game itself, Contra, actually released way back on February 20th of 1987. Now, it was kind of weird because it actually started as like a coin-operated game, but then was like a year later, it ended up coming to the Nintendo Entertainment System, and when it was released there, so many people bought it, and still to this day is regarded as one of the best games for that system. People, if you list the top 10, right, Contra, for most people, will be on that list. So it has good history, and I know that's not a great argument. Well, it has great history in gaming, so it deserves Smash Bros. Well, you could pretty much say that about almost anybody. But with the way that Nintendo has been picking characters, somewhat based on legacy, and you can see that with how Sakurai does his presentation and all that. Like, take Terry Bogard, for example. Dove so deep into the franchise, it's kind of like, yo, they really actually... They're making it feel special, right? Again, maybe it's not a character. Remember the quote Sakurai said? Maybe it was the Terry presentation this came from, but the quote that he said where it was a character, it's more important that a character is fun to play as than they are recognizable. And there's quite a bit of characters that are probably not recognizable by today's standards because, well, either their franchise hasn't had a new entry in years, or it's just something that, nobody's talking about, right? So Contra, with having a pretty good history on Nintendo, again, starting on NES, and the game by the way is like it's set in the future, and the main protagonist Bill Riser and Lance Bean are sent to try to uncover the truth about this enemy corporation thing, and they're trying to take over the world and figure out a whole bunch of stuff or whatever, right? So the game itself is very fun, great characters, a lot of cool different weaponry that Bill Riser could bring with him for a moveset. There's fun gameplay. It's a pretty good story, especially back then. Even by today's standards, it's still not that bad. It's still a pretty decent story, but overall, it was a very fun experience, and just Konami in general is quite interesting, right? Because them and I believe it's Capcom are the only third-party companies that have a rep in the base roster that have yet to get anything for DLC in terms of playable characters. No, I don't count Mii costumes. So it's slightly interesting, right? Snake comes back, gets Simon and Richter Belmont, Bomberman was an assist trophy, and then a Mii costume. Okay, I mean, Bomberman should have been playable, but that's a different topic. So, yeah, either way, though, Contra, good stuff all around. There's, definitely make for a very fun, unique sleeper pick that, again, very, very few people are talking about. So if it were to happen, at this point, I don't think anybody should be surprised at who pops up next. They really should. Nobody should be surprised. So another series I want to talk about, Silent Hill, and the character that I'll talk about that comes to mind, Pyramid Head. Now, I know some people will be like, Pyramid Head, excuse me? He is not Smash Bros. Material whatsoever. Then again, Cloud really wasn't, Joker wasn't, Bayonetta wasn't, Snake wasn't. None of them were, right? But yet, they're all in the game. So no, I don't think anyone could use the excuse they're not Smash Bros. Material, because anybody could be Smash Bros. Material if you tweak it a little bit, but you still have them, themselves. So Silent Hill is a franchise. Let's talk about this real quick. Debuted way back on February 23rd of 1999, and then, of course, had several more entries into the series. Now, if you are a horror game fan or you love suspense type of stuff, this is one of these series that odds are you probably have played or checked out at some point. Very well known, right? Kojima, the guy, his mind, he was responsible for this series. And, Konami decided, you know what, we're going to kind of cancel that partnership with him. And they kind of had a messy little divorce. But, Silent Hill still as a franchise rings a lot of bells. A lot of people still want to see something new from this series, right? Remember the PT demo for the PlayStation 4 that released? Well, it came out, and then less than a year after the demo released, it got taken off the PlayStation Store because that whole project just got canceled. And then there's a whole bunch of people that had the demo that they were selling their legit systems online just because it had this demo. Remember, like Flappy Birds? Remember that mobile game? Yeah, it's kind of like that. But Silent Hill with Pyramid Head. I know, again, Pyramid Head might not seem like a Smash character, but hey, Pyramid Head has been playable before. Dead by Daylight. Anybody? Yeah. That was the good thing about Pyramid Head in Dead by Daylight, if you ask me. It revitalized the fans of the franchise, right? Like, Konami was sitting on this, not doing anything with Silent Hill, not doing anything with Pyramid Head, and then all of a sudden, surprise, Pyramid Head, he's a playable character, Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight's like the all-star horror, Hall of Fame type of game. So, seeing something from Silent Hill in video games again got the fans reinvigorated again, and it's kind of like, okay, maybe something can come with this. And it also goes to show that Konami is kind of willing to play ball, if you will. They're like, hey, okay, look, maybe we're not doing anything with it ourselves, so we're definitely willing to license it out to other games. Maybe Smash Bros. Could be included in that umbrella. So, just something sleepery that nobody really talks about, nobody gives any consideration to, but something interesting at least, right? And then one more series I do want to talk about, the Metal Gear series. Now, probably Raiden comes to mind the most. But again, Konami, we got the Everyone Is Here, right? For Smash Bros. Back at E3 2018. Everyone Is Here. Snake came back. That was absolutely huge, right? A lot of people thought, all right, Snake's never going to come back because the whole, Sakurai and Kojima, they're friends, and then their whole messy divorce. And like, no, we're not going to talk about that. But no, it was worked out. Snake came back. And like I said earlier, we got Simon and Richter, Bomberman, and so many other things. So what if Nintendo wanted to reach out one more time to Konami and say, all right, look, we appreciate doing business with you. You have other series or maybe a character from a series that's already repped in the game that we could possibly double dip on. Maybe we could go get Raiden. After all, Raiden is in Smash Bros. And if anybody uses the he's already a spirit, that can't happen. Come on, fan rules are out the window. How many fan rules need to be broken at this point? Countless. Every presentation, every character reveal, fan rules broken, and yet people still come up with more fan rules and go, nope. That's how it is. Actually, it's not. All right, so, but the fun thing is with Raiden, he could bring a fun little style to the game, right? He is fairly popular, very known in the world, the universe, amongst the fans. He's pretty popular with the fans of the Metal Gear series. Plus, he's been playable in other games as well. PlayStation All-Stars come to mind. He's actually kind of an OP character in that. Definitely towards the top of the tier list for that. But the Metal Gear franchise, I believe, started in 1987. And then it took like 2 years or something. And then eventually that first installment made its way onto the Nintendo Entertainment System. So, again, the Metal Gear series does have history with Nintendo. I guess if that matters, does it? Maybe a little bit. But, just in terms of sleeper picks, in terms of franchises or companies that nobody's talking about, I don't hear Konami's name popped up relatively that often, right? I do my yay or nay series, and I try to put up a variety of characters for the polls. The other week, I put Bill Reiser in the poll, and he had only like 6% of the votes. Like, people wanted to see him for the series, and it was kind of like, okay, that's interesting. Very few people voted for him because maybe either one, people honestly don't think he has a chance, or two, maybe they just don't know who he is. So if he gets revealed, he's going to be a literal who, but he's not. So the thing with the Konami, though, I don't want to say they're being excluded from a DLC playable character. Again, Mii costumes don't count, but excluded from having another DLC playable character. Maybe it raises an eyebrow or two amongst the community. Like, all right, Nintendo's working with all these other base roster third-party companies. Square's got a few characters, so many others, and it's just kind of like, wait, why is Konami getting left out? Why is Capcom still hadn't got no character? Maybe Capcom could be another video I do for another topic later, maybe next week, depending on how well this does. But there's a lot of interesting characters out there that people do not talk about, that once they get revealed, most people just kind of go, okay, maybe not most, but there is that group of people that go, that wasn't Crash, that wasn't Master Chief, that wasn't Sora, that wasn't Dante, therefore this character's bad. But when you convince yourself that it's going to be one of those characters, you're only doing that to yourself in the end. And really, why are you trying to convince yourself? I know, look, we all have our most wanted characters, right? My most wanted has been my most wanted since before Smash Bros. Brawl. And he's been number one all the way up until this current day, and still will be up until maybe someday he gets playable. Maybe. But the thing is, you just don't expect anybody specific. Unless, like, a full-on legit leak happens, then sure. But never go into a pick expecting somebody over the other. But I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting little topic I wanted to discuss today. So, yeah, that's all I got for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. And, yeah, I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.